Hey, this is Sir Charles Carey. I want you to join me on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for the TRU-MU podcast, True Music. That's where we talk about all things.
I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, producer, engineer.
All things creative.
Me and my co-host, Carl T. Smith, the smooth one, will be glad to hear you, glad to talk to you, answer your questions, and talk all things music. The TRU-MU podcast, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Be part of the energy.
I can see that thing that makes men stop.
Yeah.
You're sexy, so good to me.
Hey folks, Sir Charles Carey here. Good to see you again. It's another fine Tuesday. I heard the weather was nice, and I know I can't wait for it to break. So we're going to get this party started. My man, Carl T. Smith, the smooth one, on deck.
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing out there?
Man, it's great. How was the weather in NYC?
Springtime, man. I mean, compared to what it was.
Right. Crazy. I love it, man. I'm like, man, let me not get too used to it too quick. Let me wait for it to fully break before I go out there and hurt myself. But it's all good.
Yeah, man. For real.
Yeah, we got a really exciting show today, man. We happen to have a pioneer, a hip-hop pioneer, or hip-hop pioneering DJ that was part of the boom of hip-hop when it first came out. And, you know, a lot of people may not know him, but there's a whole rack and all that. A lot of people that do know him because, again, he was a part of hip-hop's infancy as a DJ. And he still does it. He still spins, but he's multifaceted. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just want to introduce to some and present to others the original DJ Louie Lou. Lou, what's going on, man?
What up? Hold on. Let me fix my camera here. Here we go.
There you go.
Oh,
Check out Lou. Go ahead.
What up? Let me get I got a pair of glasses on my head, pair of glasses on my eyes and everything. What's going on, yo? I haven't seen Carl in years.
Man, it's been a minute, 2 minutes.
The last time we saw each other in person, I believe Ron was there. God rest his soul.
Yeah, at the house. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a long time, man.
Yes, sir. So do you feel like an old man, Lou?
Sometimes.
Being a pioneering DJ from the era of hip hop, I mean, almost part of its infancy. You know what I mean? I mean, you were there, man.
Yep. Hey, man, we all grew up around it, man. You as well. All of us, we all grew up around it.
Absolutely.
All into the mix with everyone else, with Tila Rock and Greg Nice and Kid Capri, Bambaataa.
We're going to get into all that. So, folks, if you're just joining us, I'm Sir Charles Carey. My co-host, Carl T. Smith, is there on deck. And today's guest is the original DJ Louie Lou from way back in the day. And if you know anything about hip-hop, and if you're a true hip-hop connoisseur and you still respect hip-hop, you probably have seen him. And I know you've heard him and probably didn't even know you was listening to him. But this is where we talk about all things music. Me personally, I'm a classic connoisseur myself. I don't know about you.
Yeah, okay.
No.
R&B. You with the R&B. Hey, I'm a big R&B head. I love my R&B, my old school R&B. That's it. I don't know, where hip hop, it goes hand in hand.
You got a wealth of knowledge on R&B and I mean, music in general. When you were saying certain names, I know when we did the documentary and you mentioned certain names, I was like, wow, I didn't even know some of these artists, you know, whether it was Latin jazz or other streams of music, other genres of music. I was really impressed with your knowledge, your wealth of knowledge about music overall, not just hip hop and not just R&B. I mean, you know a lot. So, you know, my hat's off to you for being so well versed. So we also have another guest. We're going to bring him up to the forefront. He is how would I say it? He's an MC of MCs, one of the DMV's very own, none other than Enoch 7th Prophet. And Enoch, what's going on, brother man? Can't hear you yet.
Check to see if the mic is on.
Yes. Good point. Yes, sir. Let's see. Mute. No, I don't want to mute him. Check your mic, E.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
On your side, I don't hear you, but can you hear us?
1 2 2 2 check.
There you go. Your mic sounds nice. Check 1.
Are you ready?
There you go. I was turning up the volume on my mix board over here.
Yeah, right. Force a habit.
Yeah,
it's got to be you, Lou.
you know. So we got DJ Louie Lou, the original, and we got one of the DMV's finest MCs, Enoch 7th Prophet. I mean, the level of consciousness, the diversity that we have here is second to none, you know. So we're just glad to have both of you guys on deck because there's a lot going on in the music and in the world. And I don't know, you know, music, they say soothes the savage beast. So I want to ask you guys both, you know, your perspectives on different things. And I just can't wait to get your insight and your input. You know, we have a different, I guess you could say, a variety of questions that we ask and a variety of insights that we share with one another. But what do you guys think about where music is today?
Enoch, you go first.
I think, you know, that is an intimate and personal question too, because it's all about where you're going today. Where do you place yourself in the world and how you, what I would say, how you kind of transform yourself to fit into this society. So what I mean by that is basically music has its ups and downs. Music is subjective. Number one, for me, music is subjective. So in today's society, you'll hear that music is, especially hip hop, is going just one way. You know, it used to have so many avenues that it could travel that people can, that listener is given the opportunity to explore, that listener is given an opportunity to imagine what that video would sound like, or what that video would look like, or what that song feels like to them. Today, it seems to me it's going in a one directional way. That's how the radio would kind of give it to us. And it's a good and bad thing, because as for me as an artist, I could look at it as a bad thing or a good thing, right? The way the music is going now with the violence and the sex and the drugs, and you got more money than me, and I live over here, while those you're talking about are still in the hood, or still getting on the bus, going to work, and you're talking about how much money you got, and you know, you're making that person, you may make that person feel like, dang, I need to do something to be like this person. So music is very influential today.
Yeah.
And it will continue to be influential. And as an artist, I think it's my job or duty to be an influence in a pool of artists or musicians or music that is not giving you the opportunity to explore your mind and to expand your mind.
Well, let me say this before Lou gives his perspective, Enoch. One of the things that really impressed me about you, this goes back years ago when you were breaking down what's an MC. I never forgot that. Now, I don't remember everything you said and how you said it, but the fact that you were conscious enough and respectful of the genre enough to break down what a real MC was. And when I heard you break it down, I was like, oh, snap, he real with it. You know, there got another little MC right there.
She mad right now, but it's all good.
But you know, the fact that you were looking at hip hop and looking at being an MC as a certain responsibility. I remember that part, and you were really like, yo, you ain't an MC if yada 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 ain't in place. If you're doing such and such and such and such, do you even know what an MC is? And I was like, wow. I never even really looked at it like that. I just
Right.
accepted it for what it was. So
Well, MC is a person who moves the crowd. A MC is a person who moves the crowd. Are you
right.
able to move an audience? Are you able to connect with an audience? Are you able to stand on all 10 on stage and be able to conduct yourself as an MC anywhere at any time? Do you have a song right now in your catalog that you can go to an elementary school and do?
Mm.
Do you have a song in your catalog that you can go to an all boys jail and do? Like, so that's what I mean with that's what an MC is. Some rappers don't have those songs.
Move the crowd, massive ceremonies.
Master ceremony, they don't have those songs, and I think that's what's missing in hip hop today is that you don't have those songs. You may have those catchy hooks, but you don't have those songs that every 20 seconds it's not getting bleeped. My daughter can't hear your rap at school and say, "Oh, I want to be a rapper one day," because what you said was positive.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
What about you, Lou? What do you think about the state of music today?
To me, I mean, I've been, pretty much all my life I've been doing this. And Charles, you and I, we go way back, way back. I was what? I mean, I was DJing before me and you even met, before I started playing with Free Band.
Right.
In the mid to late 70s when I started. But music is constantly metamorphosing. It's constantly changing. There's always new styles. There are people that always want to sound. It's all part of being creative.
Yeah.
And it just continues to grow. And they change the style, they change the beat, the way they rap. Everyone wants to be original, and it's all part of creativity. It's constantly metamorphosing all the time. Me myself, I prefer the old school stuff. I love the old school stuff, but I also love the new stuff today. Because I got a lot of stuff from Kendrick Lamar, Drake. I mean, I have to stay up with that also as well, because you have a younger generation. I get gigs where I have a mix of adults and the younger crowd, the young adults. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I play a little bit for everyone. And the state of hip hop right now is just, it's still dope. It's dope. It's still dope. You know what I mean? I wish they would hold back a little bit with some of the cursing, because it gets a little difficult to listen to some of this music when your grandchildren are around. You know what I'm saying? It gets a little tough sometimes. So thank God for the radio versions. But you have to change with it. You have to change with the music, with hip hop, and the same thing with R&B. Even R&B is different now. It's not the same. I remember when it started to change, and this was with Mary J's first album.
The 411.
What's the 411? And I remember when she came out with with Real Love.
Yeah.
And it had the hip hop beat played. A lot of people wasn't doing that.
Right.
Where they're using a lot of hip hop beats in the background. Doonch, 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 that doon, 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 that Real Love. You know what I'm saying? That was from audio. That was from audio too.
That was one good thing about Uptown Records, man. They had that swag.
Yeah, man. That's when Puffy was working with MCA back in the day with Uptown.
Yeah,
back in the days.
What's his name? Not Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, he was part of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have their first single too. It was on Profile Records way back. I think it was called Getting Money or something like that. It was called. And he passed away. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah, Andre Harrell.
That's it, Andre Harrell. So to me, that's when like the hip hop and the R&B started to really blend in together. Even R&B has changed with more hip hop-ish.
No doubt.
On a lot of tracks, you know what I mean? But you gotta love the old school R&B classics, because they always go back to the old school classics. They sample them, loop
constantly.
them, and redo them again. You know, so it's just all about just trying to create something that's old into the new. So it's always changing. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
R&B, hip hop, it's always changing,
See,
always changing.
now I remember. Now, Carl, you can jump in anytime you want to, Carl. But I remember it like when you relate to hip hop, it was just hip hop. But then in came eventually gangster rap, and then came some other stuff, and now you got mumble rap, you got old school, you got I don't know if you got that much gangster rap. I mean, it's just like hip hop's got different categories now.
There's so many styles.
Yeah, yeah. What you got, Carl?
Well, you know, it's just like back in the day when rock and roll, when gospel, you know, gospel was the mainstream music, and then all of a sudden you get guys like Little Richard. They invented something new, you know, for the newer generations. I think that the new stuff, you know, is generated from new producers or new people trying to become, you know, relevant, trying to become mainstream. So I believe it's all good. The only bad thing about it is maybe there isn't any more guardrails. There isn't any more, you know, standards. You know, underground used to stay underground. Underground has now come above the ground. You know what I mean? So anything that you can, I think you should be able to do anything with your music, you know, but there are some things that still should have guardrails. I never forgot, I had the studio. A group came in to record R&B, and I was surprised to find out that there was cursing in R&B.
Word?
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, I was surprised. I was like, well, and I actually said, you know, there's no cursing in R&B, and they looked at me and said, oh, yes, it is. I said, well, you know, the only thing I don't get is the lack of understanding that anything that you put out that contains stuff that's not accepted, how could you be surprised that it's not accepted? So, for instance, you can't, well, no, now you can, but there was a time when you can't say certain things on the radio.
How was it cursing? Was it a talking part or was it a singing part?
No, man, they were singing in harmony.
Okay,
I mean, yeah, it does. It happens.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like, okay, you know, a little spot or, you know, something that, no. This was the hook in harmony.
They were singing. Bleep you.
Yeah, man. You know, and it's like, well, and to be honest with you, I mean, I thought it was a nice jam, but
right.
You know, how do you expect to make it? You know, how do you expect to you know? And even I think back to a lot of the people that are out there doing this kind of music, which a lot of it is sounds good,
right?
But even they changed. You know, I mean, when you think of any of the rappers now, you know, or any of the rappers whenever, you know, and just like Louis said, you know, thank God for the clean versions, but
yeah.
As the higher up they get, you know, the cleaner they become, you know, and then people start saying that they're selling out. No, well, they're business people, and you gotta do business where businesses, you know.
So and that's the key word right there, Carl. It's business.
It's a business, man. I'm a business man. You're Enoch.
Yeah.
Do you have profanity in any of your songs?
Nah. I mean, I may use.
We can tell nobody.
Say for instance, I may use a word in use a word in context. You know, when I said Marion Barry, that beat set me up. Washingtonian rap. Well, that's what Marion Barry said. So I'm putting these words in context. Right. And when I'm writing, I definitely try not to use filler words. because
Okay.
sometimes those are filler words to get to
Yeah.
the next line.
Right.
You
Right.
know, Lauren Hill said it best. I say in so you might hear me. You know what I mean? She said these things so she can get the ignorant to hear her knowledge real quick. You know, and it's to each his own artist, because like I said, music is subjective. Artist is going to create, they're going to say how they want to say and get their feelings across.
See, I can't knock it, but I can't lie. There's times when I want to write certain things and I want to maybe use certain words, and I go, that's not fitting in my image as a person. People see me a certain way, so I figure out how can I say the same thing, or what other words or synonyms can I use to still create my
Yeah,
message without changing my flow or my energy.
right. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes, or sometimes you got to shock your audience,
Yeah,
because your audience is know what they're going to hear. Like for instance, my producer King C, he'll say, sometimes Enoch, you gotta go left because your audience expect you to go right. So when I did Bolo's rap and the way that I rhymed to Bolo's rap and said what I said, the audience was shocked. It was like, oh damn, Enoch, why you? But they didn't question. They just knew it was like a more of a shock thing to them. So I just kept that idea going and try to find certain synonyms to use instead of using, maybe if I, just talking about a female anatomy, maybe use a different synonym. So now my listener is thinking like, damn, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like I have a song called Virginia Slim when I'm talking about how, I saw it wiggling when she stopped walking. Like what you saw wiggling, like
that makes
makes you think.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I flipped it and said beautiful mind when she started talking. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, oh, okay, yeah. It's more than the physical. Now we gotta hit now. I'm listening to what she's saying, and she's more beautiful about her words that she's speaking than her physical appearance. But yeah, there's certain times you gotta shock the audience
So
or shock your audience.
do you have anything like current music out? I mean, I know you're recording all the time, seem like, but what's your most recent project?
The most recent project would be the most recent project would be Nostalgia. And it's a four song EP. It's
Okay,
called Nostalgia. And I'm just, building on DC slang and DC nostalgia and just, going through that moment of hip hop in DC in my eyes.
right.
I think my dopest album thus far is Reagan era. Well, I just was very transparent with my audience too about my life and what I saw during that time or heard, and just reference a lot of things that people was like, oh, I remember that. So, I do that, and that is one of my favorite albums. But the more current one would be Nostalgia. That would be the most current one.
What about you, Lou? I know you dropped a track a couple of months back, got a music video and all that. What's the name of that song?
Yeah, that's Deja Vu
Deja Vu.
with with Michael Charlton. Yep.
Yeah.
It
How's
actually
it
did pretty
doing?
well. It did pretty well.
Okay,
It did
good,
pretty well.
good.
I had to pay taxes and all that stuff. You got to pay Uncle Sam, but you know what I'm saying? You got to. But it did pretty well,
Okay.
And I just my biggest project really is with this band that I have now, and we do a lot of live music, and we play a lot of old school R&B, disco, and so forth, and it's worked out pretty well. The name of the band is Generations, the Generation Band, and we've been all over the place, man.
Okay.
And now we actually have a new member, and I can't wait till he gets here. We have rehearsal this coming Saturday, and
Nice.
his name is Keenan, and he's kind of he's like a Lionel Richie type of guy.
Okay.
The way he looks, very slim, very tall, brother. And we're going to be getting into a lot of stuff, a lot more R&B, some Frankie Beverly and Mays also as
Nice.
well. Because we had a female singer, we still do, but I'll call her when I need her. Her name is Lulu. She's Nigerian. She's got a great voice. But this dude, man, Keenan,
Yeah.
we need that brother. He's got the stage presence, the look. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I saw him. He was singing a song from Tavares. Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel,
Heaven must be missing. And yeah.
and he killed it, man. And he also did a song from Lionel Richie. He killed it, man.
Okay.
And you know, we do a lot of classic stuff, and
Yeah.
we perform for mature crowd, mature people.
Now you're not only a DJ and not only did you play drums, but you also play bass, right, Lou?
Yeah, I play bass also, man. It took me a while to catch on. I've always wanted to play the bass ever since I was a kid, man. So I have several bass guitars, and I'll play a little bit of salsa. I'll play definitely some old school R&B. I think the hardest song for me to get was Switch. You remember that song from Switch?
They'll never be.
Yeah, man, that was a little tough for me to get, but I got it. You know
That's
what
a
I'm
nice
saying?
track.
Yeah, I love that song. I love old school R&B like that. I'm an old school cat. You know what I'm saying? I've been like
Right.
since the mid '70s, man, that I've been into this. And
Y'all sound like Carl, because Carl does. Scott, I don't know what he doesn't do. He writes, he plays.
mhm.
He's an audio engineer. He's a studio
Now
engineer.
here comes where he tries to borrow some money.
Huh? What's that?
I said, now here it comes when he tried to borrow some money.
Hey, I think if I give you your just due, I might get something.
There you go. There you go.
But Enoch is no different. He's a
Yeah, so I still do it. You know, I mix, I engineer, I DJ. I got my own studio at home. I have several sets of drums, several bass guitars, and I just stay into the music, stay in the mix. Next month, I got something that's oh man, where is this at, man? I know it takes me like 2 hours away, man. Somewhere here in Florida. And we got this big party thing going down on March 22nd. It's gonna be crazy over there.
That's what's up.
I still mix, man. I'll throw on my old school hip hop. I'll throw some house, and I'm bilingual because I can even throw on some salsa and shit like that. You know, when it calls for it. Sometimes
Yeah.
I got like some old school Spanish people. They be like, "You got some salsa?" I'm like, I got you. So,
But I was going to say,
about it.
Enoch is no different. He's a photographer. He's an MC. He knows mad stuff about nutrition. I mean, you know, and I think that's today's entrepreneur. You know, you have to be diverse in your talent. You know, hopefully you're passionate about your talents, and you know you're able to do what you do, and people can really appreciate it. You know, because you know that's what makes the world go round.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, but
I have a book that I've been working on for years, man. And
I'm
every
not
time
saying
I say
nothing
I'm
to you
done
about
with
that
it,
book. I ain't gonna say nothing to you about that book. That book could have been out.
I already got you know who's to publish it and everything else.
Yeah,
The
okay.
thing is, things come up. I have forgotten about it. Sometimes my wife will say something, and I mean, I wrote stuff in there from my childhood all the way up to when I first met my DJ teacher, DJ Mean Gene, and then bumping into Tila Rock, and then getting with Greg Nice, and then getting with Special K for the Treacherous Three, and then going up to Rick Rubin's house and working on It's Yours, and then doing shows with T and Jazzy J and all over the place. So there's so much, even rocking the parties with Pow Wow. You remember Pow Wow from the Soul Sonic Force back in the
I
days?
remember the name.
He was with the Soul Sonic Force. Gotta rock it, no stop, man. Gotta rock it, no stop. Before he even blew up, and I used to be on the turntables, and his favorite joint was Funky President from James Brown.
Okay.
And Pow Wow would just get on a mic, man, and he would just tear that shit up in the house parties. You know what I'm saying? And then Special K for the Treacherous Three, his joint was Take Me to Mardi Gras from Bob James. That was his go-off record.
That joint always got the party rocking too.
Yeah, you know what? And this is, oh man, I'm talking about before Rick Rubin and everything. And even when I first started DJing, and DJ Hutch, who was down with Africa Bambaataa, when I first started, and he brings a whole trunk of old school beats to my crib, bro. To my crib. And it's a trunk. He opens it up. and whose name is on it? Africa Bambaata's name is all over the fucking beats. And he let me hold the entire case for like 2 weeks. And I'm in there trying to practice, trying to learn where the beats are at, the cuts. You know what I'm saying? And
so who are your like favorites today? Do you have any favorite artists, whether it's hip hop, R&B, or whatever? Do you have any favorite artists or favorite groups? What are you listening to today? What do you like
today?
I mean,
now, and a lot of people hate on this dude. I don't know why, but I think he is so creative, such an incredible writer, producer, and he does so many different styles, man.
T-Pain?
And people be sleeping on him. No.
Who?
Not T-Pain. Not T-Pain. Bruno Mars.
Oh, Bruno's the bomb. Whatever. I'm down with Bruno.
He plays drums, bass, guitar, produces, writes, directs, you name it. He does it all.
This is a family show, so I'm not going to talk about his most recent single with Sexy Red, but I like that joint.
That's dope too. That's dope too. I kind of like
it. Yeah, it's that song is I don't know who set that song up, what management, but I think obviously it was the wrong move, from my opinion.
That's the first thing I said. Now I like the song, but I'm like, Bruno, you don't have to do that. But
and that record,
it sells. The thing is that it sells.
And that record doesn't have a beat. That record doesn't have a clean version. So when you listen to it on the radio, they bleep it so much you can't enjoy it. And me, when you talk about Bruno Mars, when I listen to 24 Karat, I say he was in the studio snorting coke the whole time with white women in the studio.
And you know what?
Because it had that feel to it. You know what I'm saying? I
don't know how that feels, but okay.
I don't know. and I don't know how that feels. I don't know how that feels, but that's the era of the feeling. Like that's the Reagan era feeling. Maybe is what I'm talking about. I
like it so much because I remember.
Because it's that era. I mean, Bruno Mars is dope.
Yeah, he is.
I think.
But you know what? You just reminded me of a moment, and this is when me and Charles, we had the free band thing going on. It was me, Charles, Ron, Daryl. We was all there, right? And I bought this bag of Coke back in the days. Excuse me, y'all. This shit was no joke, and everybody was like, and everybody was drinking Heinekens, and we was like getting ready to play. And I'm supposed to give the 4 count, 1, 2, 3, you know what I'm saying, with the sticks. And I was just frozen. Everybody was just quiet. And the only thing that was moving was everybody's chins. Even Ron was frozen. I love that brother, man. I miss him, man.
Yeah, man.
That was a trip. That was a crazy rehearsal, man. We had some crazy times, man.
So let me ask this. You know, I mean, again, if you're just joining us, we've got DC's own MC, none other than one of the most conscious people that I know as an MC, Enoch 7th Prophet, and one of the pioneering DJs from hip hop, right in the Boogie Down Bronx, DJ, the original DJ Louie Lou. And of course, in my lower left, depending on how you're looking at your screen, we got Carl T. Smith, the smooth one, and I am Sir Charles Carey. We're talking about all things music right here on the TRU-MU, True Music podcast. And my next question is, you know, especially for you, Lou, and you, Enoch, what were some of your worst experiences as an artist? What can you feel free to share? Since Louis didn't turn into an X-rated show already.
I can't. I mean,
no, you gotta keep it real.
I'm just being me.
You good, man. You good. Trust and believe.
There was an experience that I did have, and it's a good thing that we got them back. And we was in Germany doing a show. Me, Tila Rock, Greg Nice, Just Ice, DMX. There was a couple other people that was Hanson and Davis. They did Hungry for Your Love, Hungry. So we're talking about in the 80s, yeah. So we out in Germany doing this show, and Jazzy J couldn't show up. So I ended up going anyway. So we were doing It's Yours. So there was a segment there where I was just going off with this yours, trying to do my cuts as quickly as possible. The crowd was going crazy. I mean, you're talking about, early to mid 80s, and back then that's what it was about. Speed and try to go as quickly as possible. So
Right.
I got so excited, man. After everybody screaming, I took both of the records of It's Yours and I threw it out into the crowd.
Oh
And
man.
people was fighting and everything, and they grabbed the records and stuff. And Tila Rock came up to me and he shouted in my ear, said, "Louie, those are the only 2 copies of It's Yours we got, and we still, we're not leaving Europe for another 2 weeks. We was out there for a month." And I said, "Oh shit!" And anyway, I was nervous. I was hoping the record wouldn't break. And Tila Rock got up on the mic and he was like, "Look, Louie Lou made a mistake, yada yada." And I was embarrassed, man. Louie Lou made a mistake. Those are the only 2 records we have. We still
Give 'em
have another
back.
2 weeks here in Europe. Please bring them to the stage. And thank God they came back to the stage unharmed.
But who
not
said
broken.
who out there said to you, you said it's yours?
Right, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And I just got so caught up in the excitement and what was going on. Everybody screaming, we all drinking, you name it, man. Beer, Moet,
That was one of
champagne.
your one of your bad experiences, right?
That was an embarrassing, really embarrassing and bad experience for me because I thought I was gonna be screwed, man. But I just took both records. I just took them off and I threw them out into the crowd.
What
And it
about
was
you,
the
Enoch?
only 2 that we had, man. That was great.
I'm sitting here thinking I can't think of the word bad. I can't think of a bad.
Look, you
I
can't
can't.
be conscious and a model citizen and not have a bad experience. Come on,
I can't think about a bad experience because I can think of because once again, if people know me, I didn't come into this as hip hop. I didn't come into this as an MC. I came in. I'm my background is playing all percussion in a small church since I was 5. So I can't. And when I can't think about a bad experience, I can think about an experience that I wish I could have happened, but it didn't happen. As far as being the youngest drummer playing with a gospel group here in Washington, D.C. and getting that opportunity to go on tour with Al Green, and it didn't hapen. Go to tour on Al Green in Italy. So being the youngest drummer at the time with my mom's singing group, her singing group was called Linda Gore and the Gospel Spiritualettes. My mom sung background. She was in a group also with Johnny Gill. He had a gospel group called Johnny Gill and the Wings of Faith.
Yeah.
So just being experiencing of that. So we had an opportunity to go to Italy, and Al Green heard about this group in DC from some type of way. I guess my mom's group was really flourishing at that time. They was traveling, they was doing like little small tours here and there. So my mom said, "We're not going to go because I have a feeling that the money is not going to be right." And I said, I'm young. So I think I was about maybe 7 or 8, 9. I was like, "What do you mean? It's
Wow."
Al Green." And this was the time Al Green transferred from Al Green to now doing gospel Al Green.
Okay.
So I was listening to those albums all the time, before church, after church. And my mom said, "Hey, we have an opportunity to go to Italy on tour with Al Green." I said, "Really? But I don't think we're going to go because the money's not going to be right. I don't feel it's going to be right." So she didn't go. Long story short, come to find out, when they came back from Italy, the money was not right. The money, they went over there. I guess they spent their own money. They was on their own dime. They had to put themselves up in their own hotel type of junk. So they got the okie doke. They may have came back with $500 a piece. But if you on tour with Al Green in Italy for, I don't know how many dates it was, because only thing I remember is Al Green and Italy, and didn't get that opportunity because mom said, "I don't think the money's going to be right." And it wasn't when they came back. I was kind of in my feelings, but what can I do as a little child? So
now, let me ask you something, Enoch. If the decision was up to you to go and not go, would you have still went, even if they were saying the money's probably not going to be right?
Here's the thing, Luke. They wanted me to go, the leader of the group wanted me to come play drums. She wanted me to go, but my mom was like, nah. But if I had the opportunity to, I would have went.
I agree with you.
I would have went because I knew I would have been taken care of because I'm a little boy. I knew I was gonna get taken. I knew I was gonna have somewhere to eat, sleep, all that good stuff.
Al Green, man. This is
This
Al,
is
you know what I'm
this
saying?
is Al Green. It's
And
Al Green.
it also promotes you. It shows your talents.
Mhm.
You know, you go down into the history books. That's
Right.
just me. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Done a lot of
To
stuff
learn.
where the money wasn't right.
Look,
So-
opportunity
Right.
to learn the business. What about you, Carl? What you got? You got anything?
Oh man, there's so many though. I don't consider them bad. I just consider them lessons, man. I don't know if I should share any of my lessons. You
Come
know.
on, man.
All right, I'll give you one. Here we go. So I'm doing an event and I have these dancers, right? And if anybody tells you, and Chris is looking at me, if anybody gives, shares this story, I'm looking for you. All right. So I have these dancers, right? And all week, 2 weeks, I'm practicing this dance move. And stop laughing. I'm practicing this dance move, right? To go in with these dances. So I got these 4 fly girls dancing with me. I got on my red leather suit with the fringes and everything, and I go up on the stage and I'm doing my thing and everything is going well and everything like that. And it comes to this one move that I've been practicing all this time. But of course, I was told by somebody I should go practice with the group, with the girls. Well, of course, dealing with a studio, dealing with all these different things, I just didn't go. And of course, I botched the move, so it's on video, but I think I pulled the tape out because I don't ever want nobody to see that little piece of tape. You know what I'm saying? But again, lessons learned. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that it taught me go to practice. You know what I'm saying? Make rehearsals. So now with that lesson, I show up to rehearsal early. I learn all the moves or learn all the parts or whatever the case may be, and I take that lesson seriously. So, but that was my lesson.
I'll tell you one of mine, and I've shared this before.
I'm gonna turn up this light behind me here just to get some more light.
Yes, sir. I remember I was still with the band in the Bronx, and I think I was kind of like on a hiatus from the band. And I was a banker. I worked in the banking system, and one of my clients was a gentleman by the name of Fred McFarland. Fred he was a producer, writer, artist. He
over like a fat rat.
Yeah, over like a fat rat. He produced the group Intrigue. He worked with Jocelyn Brown, somebody else's guy. And one day he told me, he said, come up by the house. It was right off Tremont Avenue. And his studio was in the basement. So he said, listen, man, I want to know, what would you do to this? And he pressed the button and the music for somebody else's guy started playing. And as you know, Lou, I can come up with words like that. They make sense like that. It's real easy for me. He pressed the button play. And the song for somebody else's guy started playing, and I was like, he said, oh, don't worry about it. Let me start it over, give you a chance to really think about it. So he rewound the tape. He pressed play. And again, I was like, I couldn't think of one word, one sentence. I was like a deer in headlights. And I'm like, what happened to the guy that could think of lyrics at the drop of a hat? What happened to the guy that could make sense of a song just because the groove was right? And bottom line was, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And I laugh at it now, but I never forgave. At the time, I didn't forgive myself because that was a shot. 2 weeks later, the hip hop version came out with the rap. If you remember, somebody else's guy, and they had a rap version, which was the response to the original. And I was like, that could have been me. Yeah, I was like,
you give me flashbacks, man. That's like that story I told you, man, way back. And it was Special K was offered by Rick Rubin. This was Rick Rubin. Rick said, Special K, I want to record a rap song and you rapping on it. This is Special K for the Treacherous 3.
Yeah, Mo D
And-
wasn't that. Mo D wasn't part of that.
Nah, just Special K. That's it. He just wanted Special K. And Special K couldn't do it because he was still a slave to Sugar Hill Records. He was signed to Sugar Hill. So he couldn't do anything with anyone else. So Special K says, well, look, man, I know someone who can do it. My brother, Tila Rock. And Rick's like, all right, so bring him over. I was still DJing for Tila Rock at the time. And Tila Rock tells me about it. This white boy, yada, yada. He goes to NYU in Manhattan and so forth and the whole shebang. So we got to go over there. He wants to record a rap record. I said, all right, let's go. And we go over to Rick Rubin's house, and Rick Rubin has a rolling 808 out. I still remember exactly what the room looks like and everything. And Rick Rubin has like the beat playing. And T was like, oh, that's kind of dope. You know, that's kind of fresh. He was saying, oh, that's kind of fresh. Because that was like the word back then. And Special K says, yo, Rick, why don't you let Louie Lou get on that drum machine? He plays drums. See if he could do a little something, something, something. So I changed the pattern up a little bit and I add an extra fill in it and so forth. And the beat was like, it's off the hook. It's off the hook. Just to make a long story short, and I remember, man, everyone was so excited on how the beat was sounding, and Rick Rubin was trying to put an electric guitar in it, and I was like, nah. Me and Tila Rock was like, nah, that shit ain't gonna work. But it actually did work later on when he did Rock the Bells for LL Cool J.
Okay.
So it actually did work out later on. But anyway, back to the story. So Rick Rubin was so excited on how the beat was sounding and what T was rapping onto that Rick Rubin came out and said, you know what? I'm going to put this, and this is in front of me, Tila Rock, and Special K, my right hand up to God. And he says, I'm going to put this on the label with the turntable arm on it, and I'm going to call it Def Jam. Me and Tila Rock looked at each other. We were like, that's the corniest shit I ever heard. We thought it was, we started like, we thought it was the corniest shit.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, after that night, we set up to go back again to do some more work on the record. And I was the only one who showed up. Tila Rock ain't show up, Special K ain't show up. So me and Rick was there for like about 2 hours over at his crib over at NYU downtown at college he was going to. And we start working on a beat. I changed the hi-hats a little bit. It's a really simple beat. You know what I'm saying? To me anyway. And it really is. And we do work on it. We mix it down. Right? So afterwards, 2 hours pass and Rick was like, it seems like they're not going to show up. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, peace, this and that. I'll find out what's going on. I jump on the Iron Horse, go all the way back up into the Boogie Down. I went straight over to Tila Rock's house with the recording, with the tape, because he mixed it down for me right there at his crib. And I ring the doorbell, and the Special K who answers the door. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? It's T-Day. He was like, nah. And I was like, yo, man, we was trying to find out why y'all didn't show up. And K was like, nah, I'll give him a call, man. I'll set, another rehearsal date up. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got the tape and shit so you can hear what we did. And I let Special K hear it. And he's listening to it. He's loving it. Right away, he grabs a piece of paper and a pencil. And he starts writing right in front of me. The very first verse, commentating, illustrating, description giving, adjective expert, analyzing, summarizing, musical, mystic, and people of the universe. This is yours. Written by Special K. And I'm telling you right here, Enoch is sitting down like, what? Hand up to God. Special K wrote that. And the title of the song. Taking a record that's already made with the using in the crossfade, all that is Special K. He wrote that shit right in front of me.
Did he get credit for it?
Huh?
Did he get credit for it?
Everybody got screwed. Rick screwed everybody.
Oh,
Rick screwed everybody. Even Jazzy J got screwed. I got screwed. So like I said, man, I'm trying to make this story as short as possible. So I was supposed to DJ on it, and Special K was in charge of the project, and Special K wanted the recording. And I said, well, it's a cassette. I mean, let's throw it into your Sansui tape deck. You got high-speed dub, and just make a copy of it.
Goodbye tape.
Nah,
Oh, okay.
goodbye opportunity. So I was like, nah, man, I'm
Okay.
not, I got a whole bunch of other shit that's on there where Rick Rubin playing the electric guitar and all kinds of shit that was in there.
Okay.
While we was building up It's Yours from the bare bones into what it is now, which is a historic record that gave Def Jam birth.
Right.
So we got into a disagreement, Special K and myself. And Special K said, well, you know what, man? If you don't give me the tape, he wanted the tape. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I got other shit. Oh, it was the dumbest shit. I couldn't believe it. I was only 18 years old at the time. We were really young. So was Special K as well. And he said, you know what? If you don't give me the tape, you off the project. And I'm like, well, you know what, man? My fucking tape. I'm like, well, fuck it then, man. I'm off the project. And I put my tape in my pocket and I walk out and I leave. I swear to God, I haven't heard from Tila Rock and Special K in like almost a year. And in that time, I had ended up working in Manhattan for a big cocaine organization.
Oh, that kind of offsets things.
And we was doing a lot. We was getting a lot of money and
Just
a
a
lot
little
of
bit.
free cocaine. You know what I'm saying? So you know how Red Alert and them be on the Saturday night mix and shit, Friday night, Saturday night mix. So it was a Saturday night. Me, my brother, we had a couple of the fellas over at the coke spot, and we getting sniffed up, and we throwing cocaine in the cigarettes and smoking them up, drinking Heineken's, chilling. We fucked up, wired up, listening to Red Alert. And the record comes on the fucking radio. Red Alert throws it on. And I just froze. I got my beer, my cigarette in my hand. And I'm looking at the radio. And my brother looks at me. And he's like, yo, Lou. I still don't. He's like, Lou. And then he just grabs me. He starts shaking me. He thought I just was like freaking out and shit, like you know what I'm saying? From all the coke and the beer and everything. And I'm like, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm all right. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I got the cigarette in my hand. I pointed at the radio. I said, that's my record, man. That's the record I was working on with Rick Rubin. Remember I told you, June?
It's yours.
And he remembered. It was the hit of the summer. And I'm listening to Jazzy J cutting and everything. It was the hit of the summer. It was the smash hit of the entire fucking summer.
Do you still have the cassette?
They broke into my crib.
Oh man!
And stole everything, even the cassette. It was a collection of tapes that I had. And I told my wife I had a show to do in Los Angeles with Tila Rock and Greg Nice, and we was gonna be out there for 3 days. And I said, look, babe, and we was living in the ghetto at that time in the Bronx, small little place and shit. Man, I ain't trust nobody. I told my wife, don't tell nobody shit that I'm gonna be out of town. All right. So we go out of town, and what does she do? Oh, my husband's out of town. He's in LA. He's this, that. And on top of that, she went and spent the night over at my mom's house.
Oh, no. Nobody's watching.
So that gave them the opportunity. They went, they broke in, they stole everything, my turntables, mixer, amp, speakers, everything. When I got back from Los Angeles, I stopped over at the old neighborhood, Sheridan Avenue, 1011 Sheridan. My brother was there. My wife was there. She was pregnant, having my first daughter and shit, And he had a serious face. And I got out the limousine. I got dropped off in the limousine. T and Greg Nice, they were, the limousine was going to drop them off. And it was like, 11 o'clock at night, summertime. And I got out the car. I'm like, what's going on, man? Honey, you okay? The baby's all right? My brother goes, they're all right. They're good. She was quiet. I'm like, what happened? My brother puts his arm around me, pulls me over to the side. He's like, Lou, they broke into your crib, man. They took everything. Yo, I was so heartbroken, man. That was the second time I got robbed, man. That was the second fucking time. I was like, I was heartbroken. They stole everything. But anyway, that year, after the drug trade and all that shit, that year before, now I got ahead of myself. But after Tila Rock was all over the place with Jazzy J, doing shows, he's everywhere. Shit is on the radio 24/7, 365 days a year. When the record started to kind of die down, and I'm living in my building downstairs in the basement and shit, but I had that shit hooked up, and I hear a knock on the door, and I look to the people, and it's T Rock standing right there. And I open the door, and I just go walk right in, get on the sofa, and he comes right in. I'm like, the fuck you doing here, man? Shouldn't you be out somewhere on the other side of the world, bro? And he's like, yo, man, I came back to get my DJ, man. I can't forget about you. And I'm like, what about Jazzy J? He said, he's still with me, man. There's so much, man. I even get touched by this shit, man. All the shit that I went through.
Mhm.
So he was like, he's still DJing with me, but we got a big show coming up in North Carolina, and we want you to come over, you know, so you can warm the place up before Jazzy J and him get on. You know what I'm saying? And we did just that, man. And I started traveling with T and Jazzy J. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I went to Jazzy J's studio, and this shit was off the hook. Jay gave me some records, and I still got them shits, man.
Let's take a pause right there. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna do a little announcement, little PSA, public service announcement about some upcoming activities. 1 second.
Reality Enterprises presents the show of all shows. We're going to do it one more time. MPK Cabaret, 5050 Beach Place. Be there or you will miss Sir Charles Carey, the smooth one, Carl T. Smith, Soul City Collective, John R. Lewis, Tawanda Prince, and DC's own Smoke D for the True Lovers Tour. You've got to be there. MPK Cabaret, 5050 Beach Place. Be there or you will miss all the love to go around.
Truality Enterprises presents the True Lovers Tour, 5050 Beach Place, Temple Hills, Maryland. We're going to have a great time, guys. Not only will my man Carl T. Smith be there, not only will Tawanda Prince and all the folks that you saw in the commercial be there, but we will be there having a great time. And we're just excited about the opportunity of doing what we do. Again, I'm just fortunate to have these people on the how would you say on the roster with me, and they've all been doing this for a while. And there's nothing like live entertainment, live music, live performances. You know, it's the one thing that we can never get enough of. Sometimes it seems like it's fading. We're intending on bringing it back for the True Lovers Tour, and you're going to hear from all of these people, letting you know what real music is all about. Again, it's 5050 Beach Place, Temple Hills, Maryland, from 6 to 10, March 21st, which is a Friday. So come on out, bring your
Look at this.
bring all those that mean something to you, that really enjoy having a great time. And when you sign up on the on my music list, on my contact list, go to Sir Charles Carey, look at the trailer at the bottom. You're going to get a free download and whatever merch that we have available while supplies last. We're giving you some free merch and a free download. So come on, get your tickets. It's only $20. You can't, I mean, look, like they say, if you pass me by, you have no one to blame but yourself. It's going to be a great time, and we look forward to seeing each and every one of you. The True Lovers Tour. So that's what's up. That's how we're doing it, March 21st. And not only that,
we're done.
In May, we're going to keep the party going. We're going to be in the Boogie Down Bronx with the smooth one, Carl T. Smith, Michelle Lowry, and myself, Sir Charles Carey, and man, at the Rafael Hernandez Auditorium, May 24th. ctstickets.smoothone.com for more information, and you are empowered, and you're sure to have a great time. We're doing it real. We're doing it live, folks.
Dope. That's dope. Dope.
So, yeah, so that's what we're doing, and that's how things are flowing. Plus, man, Carl is doing some things with Leon, you know, the actor from the 5 Heartbeats. He's on tour with him as well, doing his thing. I think you're in Chicago this week, right, Carl?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, that's what's up. So, I mean, we've been talking about a lot of different things, man. I mean, we've been having a great conversation. Before we get out of here, this last one may be of interest to many of you. How do you guys create music today? Enoch, how are you creating music?
Living.
I'm sorry, living?
Living. That's how I'm creating music today. It's basically because the question is how you creating music today. You know, it's not creating music because I can do so many other things besides this music thing. You know, I can I can film documents. You know,
Right.
be a documentarian. You know,
Yeah.
I can film videos. I can do photography. So when I get when that motivation is not there to write, I go to another thing that motivates me to now give me more creativity to come back to writing, and therefore I have something to write about. You
Yeah.
know, I haven't written something in a long time. You
Okay.
know, my focus isn't there right now. I have other little focuses going on that really needs my attention. So when life is not lifing, then I can get back to that writing.
Right.
And now I really have something to say. So it's more so with me, the creativity part of it is not stressing myself out to write. You know,
Yeah.
I hear writers or I hear rappers say, I write every day. That's cool. That's not me.
Right.
Because if, you know, or I hear producers say, I make 10 or 20 beats every day. And I'm like, so what else are you doing besides that to motivate? But once again, everyone has their own creative flow and everyone has their own creative flow. When it comes to me and how I'm writing and how been creative or being created or being creative, I like to be around creatives. You know,
Yeah.
I like to actually say, for instance, you know, coming to a Sir Charles event, I may be the photographer, you know,
Which you
and
have.
which I have been, you know, and it's creative for me because I don't have to think too much. The person who invited me to do whatever they wanted me to do, they're the person who has to think about all these things and get all these things together. Me, just being a photographer, I am on I'm on autopilot. So when
You
I'm
know,
done with that, I can get back into writing.
I heard somebody say, "You're not like me, and I'm not like you." And did he? Did
I'm
he?
not like you, and you are not like I don't think like you, and you don't
Right.
think like me, and that
Right.
is okay. That
Exactly.
is perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? And that's what separates us all. You know, we all think differently, and that's we should.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, when it comes to music, you know, if me and DJ Louie sit down and talk, we may not think alike,
Right.
but our goal is the music.
Right.
What music you like? Oh, you don't like the artist? Why not? Well, I can see why you don't like that artist. Okay. And I can see why you like that artist. All right, cool. We not arguing, we not fussing, I hate you, man. I don't want to talk to you no more. Nah, it should never be like that
I'm
because
taking
music
you off
is
the project, Enoch.
yeah, I'm taking you off the project because you
Yo.
said you said so and so was whack, and I'm like, well, that's my opinion, but
Right. Right.
is the record that we working on right now, Lil Whack? Nah, all right then. So why you gonna take me off if this record not whack? But you saying the artist that you like is dope, and I'm saying nah, not really. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's those things. It's more of a creative push, you know, to be creative in the space and given that opportunity to expand your horizons and your palette as well.
So let me segue over to the smooth one. You Carl, I know you're doing a lot of stuff, man. I know you're on tour with Leon. You're still doing your audio engineering. Are you writing? And what is your process? What are you up to now, man?
No, I'm working on a bunch of projects and stuff. I'm still, you know, I just fire up the computer, the studio, you know, and as far as anything, whatever, I just start playing a couple of chords or something, and I'll come up with a couple of projects, you know, a couple of things,
Yeah.
and I lay down a lot of grooves, and then later on I'll come back and revisit them and say this will be good for this one and that one, or you know, or add this to it and throw some words, or somebody will throw some words on it. So I mean, I'm continuously working on projects and stuff. Even
Right.
you know, now I'm like I'm going to do remixes now, you know, that kind of thing, you know.
Don't
So
forget to let me know about that. Talking about the remixes. You ain't let me know what song you want. So don't forget to let me
well,
know.
I done took like 20 of your songs. I just need to sit down with them and just
Okay.
figure out which one, but
Okay.
you know, and then let you hear it. But you know, I'm always working on it, and usually it's late night, you know.
Right.
So
Right. So what about you, Lou? Do you have a follow up to Deja Vu?
I don't have a follow up to Deja Vu, but I think the last thing that I was doing was working on a remix to "You're Sexy."
Man,
On
please.
my Akai, I have an Akai Live, and I got all kinds of stuff, man. But it was on the Akai Live, and I already programmed the beat. I don't know if I ever even let you hear it.
No, man, I haven't heard nothing. Jive Turkey.
Yeah. I've heard that since I'm gonna get you, sucker.
1969. I know.
Bro, you sent me the acapella of "You're Sexy."
Yeah.
So with that, that's how I was able to come up with the beat on the Akai Live. It's actually pretty dope. You know,
I know you're gonna freak it up. Why you think I was sweating you?
But I was, but it still needs, like, because I need to put like a bass and some chords. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, before the next album.
And here's the thing, that I've been so busy with this band, and now I got a new member coming in. Okay. I mean, we, you know, on top of that, I work. I wish this is all I did.
Blob schmob, come on, man.
I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only one who works in the band. Everybody else is retired.
Oh, okay. Well, you just come join us.
I want to. You know what I'm saying? So I got a couple years left, but everyone else in the band is retired, and I'm the only one that still works, which is cool. It's still cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I still do my thing. I still DJ. I got my whole setup. I got more than what I even, need.
Yeah, you know? I just put out this track called "He's the One." You know, we always got these fly beats to talk about, "Ooh, baby, baby, baby," or "I'm nice," or "I can take you here, I can take you there." I figured, let me give one to the Most High. So I got this new track called "He's the One," and that's gone out. It's been out for a while. The video just came out recently, and we're going to probably do that in the show for the True Lovers Tour in March 21st. That with "You're Sexy," with Bay, and another one called, it's a new one called "What Can I Do?" What Can I Do is real slick. I like that. So
I saw that video.
What Can I Do? Yeah.
You sent me a link on Instagram, I think it was. And I checked it out.
Here just waiting, anticipating, slowly contemplating my next move with you. Yeah, it's got a nice beat, man. Right. So we're gonna do those, and we're gonna do a little bit of both, some original stuff, some cover stuff, and we're just gonna have a great time. I know Carl's gonna kill it, so I got to be on my A game. Start doing my push-ups.
There you go, trying to borrow money again.
You know what they say, when you play with the big boy, it raises your level of talent and expectation and all that. So I got to be ready, man.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. It's hard to find friends like that where you can borrow money from. What's up, Carl? You want to borrow money?
now you, Lou. Huh? Okay.
Now, the funny thing about the four of us on here is that, and I know Enoch, he can attest to this. Y'all all know I'm from New York, but when I came to the DMV, Enoch, Karib, Miss Chris, there was a few more. I can't think of everybody's name. Rich, there was about 12 of us that got together. We was trying to do this like conglomerate thing. We called ourselves the Soul Siblings. And out of all those 12 people from the DMV, there's only about maybe 4 or 5 of us now that's still active doing our thing, whatever our thing is. You know what I'm talking about, right, E? So the 4 of us here, it's almost the same thing. I've known Carl, gosh, since the 80s, and same with Lou. We've known each other since the 80s, and that's like a minute. And in fact, I was doing shows with Carl even when I was with the band, hitting like Cameo Hall and the Cotton Club. We was like,
wow, you going back.
Yo, man, but that's the history, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think we met. I think it was either 1979 or 1980.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
My wife and I had met in 81, and I wasn't even with her yet. I was with some other chick named Ita, remember?
Oh, yeah, no comment.
You know what I know. So, that was way back, and that was, so I think it's either 79 or 1980.
Yeah. Like so it's been a minute. I mean, so in other words, this history, but the point, I guess, is that we are still at something that we're passionate about. Before technology evolved, before life of the world became what it is today as we know it. And I think that says a lot about our spirits as entrepreneurs, as creators, as true creators, because something is not for you. Normally, it won't stick, and you won't stick to it. So
Right.
we've thrown it against you,
You have to adapt. You have to adapt
and
to
we've
what.
adapted.
Yeah.
We've all adapted. We're still in it. We still want to do it. We still have a love for it. You know, I hear the horror stories about record companies this and record companies that, and I believe it. And I said to myself this the other day, why are you still doing this stuff? Didn't you hear what the label did to this guy and that guy? Don't you know that if you don't get 1 million streams, you're only going to make but so much? And I'm like, why are you still doing this? And it's like, I can't help it. I'm a fool for love. I can't help it. I'm a fool for music. Music is like,
Yeah, man.
I can't help myself.
You
Right.
can't do it for money, man. Sometimes it's just for love, man. The love of music. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Be miserable, you know what I'm saying? And just,
Yeah,
watch TV and let time go by and
can't do it.
do what you love, and
Can't
the
do it.
best feeling in the world is music, especially the cherry on top is performing in front of people.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're clapping.
Yeah, that's the cherry. That's
Yeah,
the
man.
cherry on top.
Everyone's
Be-
appreciating you and everything. You're like,
Right.
thank you. It's kind of like what Jim Carrey was doing in a scene in one of his movies where he's like, they love me. They really love me. You remember that shit? Everybody, I think, what was that? The Mask. It was in The Mask.
Was it Jim Carrey or Sally Field did that
It was
also?
Jim
He got
Carrey, like where he was crying and everything, playing it off. He was like, "They love me, they really love me." But what I'm trying to say is, I'm kind of like a silly type of guy. You know what I'm saying, Enoch?
Yeah, I saw that.
But it's kind of like you feel that way. Like, wow, they really love the performance, man. It's that feeling, that live applause. And
Yes.
then people coming up to you after the performance, like, you guys had a killer show, man. You guys killed it, man. I love your stuff, man.
Yeah.
I like the way you guys play. You guys rock, and bass player, Lou, the drummer. Oh, I love it. And it feels good. You feel appreciated.
We got a rehearsal tomorrow, but man, look, I'm gonna look to you guys, man, maybe for down the line for another show. Hopefully, if you're available, you can come on back and share some updates about what you've done or how things have gone. Because I know, Enoch, you got a show coming up. What's the details in your show coming up, Enoch?
That is March the 15th, Linden on H. It's called the Collab Chronicles. I have Sunshine Monet L coming from Jersey. I have basically Joshua out of Baltimore, Honduras brother. He's dope. From Baltimore. Then I have Freedom Black, by the way, the Bronx, but now he lives in Augusta. Who else is on that bill? Don Good from DC, and Life the Oracle out of Baltimore as well. So and DJ King C, he's on 1 and 2s as well. So it's going to be a dope night. It's $10. We have the tickets. We have a link to the tickets, but there's not going to be any tickets sold at the door at all. So there's no tickets sold at the door. So folks, get your tickets now. Don't wait. Me and King C haven't performed in DC in a full show in 5 years. So This is, everyone's always asking, when you going to perform in DC again? Well, this is the time to show up, pull up, show your face, and understand that, this is what y'all asked for. Y'all wanted me to perform in DC, and this is the opportunity, and this is the show. So I would love to see everyone there. Doors open at 7, show start at 8:30, and we'll be done by 9:45. So those who are over 45 can get home and do what they want to do.
That's right.
What you got coming up, Lou?
Me, what I got coming up is March 22nd. And I can't say exactly. It's like you're driving to Miami. It's a good 2-hour trip.
Is this with the band or by yourself? Is with your band?
No, this was me and DJ Crazy Ray. It's actually a private event.
Nice.
It's gonna. Oh man, I know it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of drink. They cooking a pig out there and frying turkey and a baked turkey, all kinds of food, a lot of drinks, a lot of people, family members, and so forth. It's not a pay event or anything like that. Like I said, it's just a party. But as far as a show, I might end up doing a show with the band before that.
Okay.
Right now, I got this guy coming over this Saturday, Keenan, so he could do his thing and see if we if we
If
like
he's a good fit
the
for
way
you
it
guys.
goes. Huh?
If he's a good fit for you guys.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is, man. I already saw his videos, so we're working on getting this new singer on board. You
Okay.
know, and we just finished doing a show, Jesus Christ, this past Friday also as well, out in Riverview, Florida. Also
Nice.
as well. It was a 70s theme. It was
Okay.
all a 70s theme. And
I may
we
have to
rocked
catch a
out
flight
there.
down there, man. I may have to catch a flight so I can open up for you, man.
Yo, we just jamming, man, and sometimes I'll take my Tama set, I'll take either my Yamaha set, or I'll take my electronic set, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And we just do it up, man. We just
Yo, man, I'm looking forward to the remix of Your Sexy, your version. I'm looking forward to us doing some other stuff because I know we've redone some stuff like Crazy Love. We did some songs back in the day, and we had them redone. And Sunshine is probably next coming up, but we got a lot
I
of
tried
stuff.
doing it, man, but it's like it wasn't nothing like the original Sunshine.
Oh, I know.
tried,
That's
but
okay.
it's just that feel of the original Sunshine, which I think is such a beautiful song.
It is. It is.
It is
Carl, what you
really
got
a
coming
beautiful
up?
song.
Well, like you said, this weekend I'll be in Chicago doing gigs with Leon. Actually, we'll be on the news, Chicago News on Friday morning,
Okay.
9 o'clock. And then be doing a city winery on Sunday.
Right.
And I think we're doing something. Oh, the Cook County Correctional Facility. We're performing on that on Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday.
Be sure you stay on the right side of the bars.
Man, listen, I'm gonna
For real.
make sure I'm wearing something bright and not striped.
All right, there you go.
Stay away from the stripes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we'll be in San Diego.
Don't wear orange though.
Don't wear no orange.
Ah,
Don't wear no green. You know, no solid jumpsuits. None of that stuff.
Right.
I got it. Then we'll be in San Diego 2 weeks later, and then I'll be in Maryland. Matter of fact, if you go to my page, just smooth1.com. There's a whole list of stuff. Everything is listed there. You know, you can gain all that information, because if I just keep trying to remember which one, I'm gonna make a mistake and tell you and send you someplace where we ain't gonna be. You know
Right.
what I'm
oh,
saying?
do you have a booking agency or something?
No. I hear some volunteering.
No. Because I work with a booking agency.
Okay,
You
good.
know what I'm saying?
Right. No. Well, you know, I mean, as far as my stuff, as far as what I've been doing, I've been throwing a lot of events. But as far as Leon, I'm not sure.
And for myself, you know, on March 21st is what we're working towards. We got the True Lovers tour coming up, so we're excited about that. And that's what we're getting ready for. We got, again, you know, John R. Lewis. We've got Tawanda Prince. We've got DC's own Smoke D. We've got the Soul City Collective. That's the band I got now together, and we're doing our thing. And you know, I can't wait till we get it done, because after that, I get a little break, and then we're going to have the show with Carl in New York at the Rafael Hernandez Theater, and just
I
keeping
wish
it
I could meet
moving.
up with y'all, man. I wish I could meet up with you guys, man.
Man, that would be so great, man. And
Well,
then
we need to go to Florida. We need to come to Florida.
Come to Florida, Carl. Come to Florida, man. Get a gig out
Think
over
I
here.
won't? Think I
Exactly.
won't?
Yeah, exactly.
Get a gig out over here. I'll be up there, man. I'll show up. I'll be there. Show some love. For real.
You guys hold on 1 second. So, folks, with that being said, we want to thank everyone for their time, and we definitely appreciate you guys being here. And, you know, like I said, you always want to be a part of the energy. Be part of the energy, folks. Hey, this is Sir Charles Carey. I want you to join me on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for the TRU-MU podcast, True Music. That's where we talk about all things.
I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, producer, engineer.
All things creative.
Me and my co-host, Carl T. Smith, the smooth one, will be glad to hear you, glad to talk to you, answer your questions, and talk all.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yo, sex.